Yeah.
So you mentioned that you would see yourself as a bit of a cynic as well.
Hmm.
How does that manifest for you, and what's your journey from being a cynic to
Mhm.
doing what some people might describe as hippie shit? And
Yeah.
I mean, with a lot of the neurodivergent stuff, and as well, like a lot of people would poo-poo it and say these are just naughty kids, and
Yeah.
people who haven't got the shit together, and
Yeah.
and this is often from quite normally quite compassionate people.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yet there is a level of cynicism there as well. So what got you from, yeah, tell me a bit about your journey
Mm.
and your cynicism.
Yeah, I was only diagnosed ADHD at age 50. So had many, many years to cope with feelings that I didn't understand and difficulties that I struggled with and had to mask for a very long time. And was a pretty good masker, I think, because many people, when I got my ADHD diagnosis, they were like, "What? I can't believe that. You ADHD?" I don't necessarily present. I'm definitely not the loudest person in the room. I'm definitely on the surface can appear to be very organized. That takes a heck of a lot of energy and time and mental strain to show that. And I don't really show it to the world anymore. I am who I am. I'm much more comfortable with admitting that I didn't get that thing done, or I haven't, I'm running late or whatever it is. But yeah, it's for 50 years, it was a lot of masking. My son, as I mentioned, is ADHD autistic. So he got his diagnosis, and then, how it happens in many families where things kind of fit together for you. And I had some lovely friends, business friends, saying to me, you do know that these struggles are ADHD. There's nothing like bringing out those difficulties by running your own business.
Oh
So
yes.
that definitely was a clear sign. But yeah, very much very disconnected from my body. Never really consciously, I don't think, felt anything specific. Definitely pushed down any anger, to be very kind and polite and well behaved and all the rest of it. Was a very traditional good girl. And yeah, just bit by bit began to realize that there was a lot more to it than just the thinking. I was very good at planning my thoughts and reframing things and did many, many years of talk therapy. But yeah, just which is obviously helpful. Don't get me wrong, I completely think it's really helpful to talk about things, but there was more to it. And I felt like I just realized that there was other things going on in my body. And then, listening to fabulous people like Gabor Mate and Bessel van der Kolk and things about the body. And I just went on this real learning journey of how can I always want to have a purpose. Having a community interest company, I have a purpose to support families. That was my initial purpose. I'll support people around ADHD and autism. That was one thing, but now kind of bringing in the retained primitive reflexes. I do some music therapy as well, and understanding the effects that all of those things have on our body and how we can make such a difference. That's now what I want to share, more than just the, think about it differently kind of thing, which can be helpful, but it's much more about let's get this feeling, let's get those messages through our body to our guard dog in our brain and tell him that we're okay. He doesn't have to bark and growl at this moment in time. We've got this. And it's kind of just, building that connection between my brain and body has been a fabulous journey, a difficult journey. I still revert to the overthinking and the anxiety and I've got to do better in how I think about this. But it always comes back to, okay, don't think about it. Do something in your body. Give yourself an experience, be more mindful, create that feeling in your body, and then that's going to change the story in your head.
What advice would you give to someone watching? Any kind of final thoughts that you'd like to share with anyone watching?
If you feel disconnected from your body, just start small. don't have any expectations or preconceptions about what you should be doing. Literally, for me, put your hand on your heart and just feel what it feels like. And just connect with yourself, and you will go on a wonderful journey learning more about yourself. Yes, it's not going to remove all the struggles that you have, but when you first do that, you're almost making a commitment to yourself. You're just being prepared to learn. And I think especially for late diagnosed neurodivergent people, there's so many messages coming from the outside. Just find out what works for you, find out what suits you, what do you want, what is the right thing for you. And that has had a massive impact on my life, and it's definitely not an overnight process, and it's definitely not one that I've got sorted. I'm very much on a journey of doing it, and I do have to keep relearning and reminding myself and going, no, remember, that's the old days, I'm doing it differently now. So yeah, get into the hippie shit. That's what I would say.
Hey, there we go. And our inner cynic is there to protect us as well. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I've been learning some good things about internal family systems, and
Ooh,
being able to befriend those parts of you that you hated with a vengeance at some point, and being able to go, I understand you were really trying to help me. Oh, that's just amazing. Just amazing. We don't have to hate our critical inner voice anymore. We hear all sorts of things about, tell it to get lost, and you don't want to hear from it anymore. And when I heard the thing about, no, it's there to help you and protect you, that just felt so good to me. I could literally feel a reaction in my body. I didn't have to hate that voice in my head. I don't like what it says a lot of the time, but it's there to protect me. It's there to
yes,
help me. So yeah, that's been a big difference for me as well.
brilliant. So thank you very much. It's been a
You're very
pleasure.
welcome.
It's been
Lovely
really
to.
interesting. And I'm going to watch my little one when she comes back from nursery and watch her flailing around and running around and doing her thing and kind of
And
go,
not sitting at the
right,
table and go, yay, she's
right.
what she
You don't need
needs.
to sit at the table. It's all good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Good for you.
Thank you.